Who wants some?
We saw George for the first time get some action out there. What did you think of him?
Good. I like where he's developed and where he's come from. He did fine on Sunday, so it wasn't too big for him. I think he played 24 snaps. The cool thing, what he hadn't had the opportunity to do was fix the issue as it happened. And he got bowled one time and then spun on one time, and then the next time it happened, recovered on both of them. So it's pretty cool.
How far he's come. I mean, he was a basketball player, played tight end last year, and now he's playing tackle in the NFL. I mean, it's pretty impressive, isn't it, what he's been able to do this year?
Yeah, and I think he's really put himself to this task of learning. He'll answer questions every single day of his coaches, of his teammates, trying to learn, trying to grow that way. Very diligent in his work, and it's paying off, definitely paying off.
What's your plan at left tackle for Sunday?
Well, we'll see where Brad's at. He's made a really quick recovery, and felt like he might have been able to do some work today. So let's see tomorrow where he's at. And we've got a ton of options. Obviously, you saw George today, and then you've got Jamarcus Webb can go out there. You've got Reese can go out there. So we practiced George and Reese for the most part today.
Sal Bionic, is he that much of a viable?
Maybe. He was in a stance this morning and moving around pretty good. And so they just want to give it a chance to settle down and give it some rest, and then we'll see where it's at tomorrow and Thursday, or tomorrow is Thursday, tomorrow and Friday.
What made you reach out to a college basketball player who really never played the position?
Well, it wasn't so much me. It was really John and his staff and Trent, and found a guy, and Trent says to me, hey, you should check this guy out. And so you look at him, and there's no background. So you're really just looking at this big body. You can see the athlete. That's really cool, long arm guy. And then he's got a nice brain, and he's doing something like you want in life. He's competing for something. He's got a family, he's got children. So he's got an opportunity, and he's just grabbed the opportunity and doing the best he can with it. So what made us gravitate to him? Long arm athlete. That's really about it, because there was no background.
You guys have had good athletes who come in before and just they haven't been able to kind of work it out or teach or whatever. How long does it take you to work with a guy to know, okay, this guy's got a future in this, as opposed to a guy who is just not going to pick it up?
I'd say about 3 or 4 days, really. And the part that I think on the outside you wouldn't understand unless you're involved in it every day, and you guys see it every day, is that can they strain? Are they comfortable suffering? This is a hard game. You're going to have failures right away, especially when you have limited background. Can you handle those struggles? Can you recover? And then at the end of the day, is he really athletic enough, strong enough? Is there enough of his makeup that he can keep coming back, wanting to get better? And if you can do that, they got a chance.
When did you know George was comfortable suffering as he put it?
Pretty quick. I would say at the end of that second week, you knew. He's really raw, really a lot of issues and all that. But all he did was get better each day, and he took coaching. And as we got into the preseason, he started to play. You're like, he can do this. You just remember you're dealing with someone. It's like a blank, slate. There's nothing there, and so there's 24 snaps now to his name.
Was there much of a decision Sunday to go with him instead of going with Jamarcus?
No. We had trained this way in terms of substituting and all that. So had we not dressed him, that would have been Jamarcus. But having the chance to get an extra guy up, that's where he's trained and all his work's at. So easier transition for the group.
Is there any advantage in that he has no habits, so he has no bad habits to clean up?
Yeah, I think it's great. It's difficult, but I think it's great. And I think for him, it's a failure, and then you learn so much. His learning is different than a guy like Jermaine. Jermaine has some background and can see it, and once you break it down for him, he'll fix it. Where this guy, it takes a couple times, and then once he gets it, he's got it. And once he's got it, he owns it. And I think that's the beauty of having kind of a guy with no bad habits.
When you see the potential, what does that look like? Versus when you see, as you mentioned, how raw he is, what does that look like?
Well, it's exciting to see where he can take this. You look at each week how much he's grown, and then there's an opportunity maybe this week for him to play, quite a bit. And if it does, I'm not worried about it. That's how good I feel about it.
George, are there things that translate from the basketball court onto the football field?
Sure, pass protection. Playing defense, defending the boundary, defending the block, keeping your body between, the rusher and your quarterback, or the guy with the ball in the basket. So those are things that he's been able to grab a hold of rather quickly, understands it clearly what you're saying, and you want to force the guy with width, which is to force the ball into the boundary or out of bounds, away from your quarterback. So that naturally comes to him.
What was your overall assessment of how the line played on Sunday?
Really good in protection, run game clean. We just didn't get enough result from it, and so that's what we're working on. That's the whole consistency thing. We've been pretty spoiled, I guess maybe is the best word in the past. We're all kind of on the same page. We're all on the same page. Now we got to get it ran right. We got to get it read right. We got to get it blocked right in all areas, and we're still not there.
How much is missing a compliment like Thomas been to that whole puzzle too?
No, I don't look at it that way. I think whoever's back there, you got to block it right, do it right, read it right, all those elements, and then whoever's back there should go get 3 and 4 and 5. That's just the way I believe.
How did Jermaine play? I know last week you wanted to see him.
Big jump, and that was nice. For me, those are the moments that I'm looking for with these guys, to have some failures a week before, really work it through. Did a great job last week, and then put it on tape this week and did a really good job.
And Gilliam at right tackle, is that sort of where you like him best right now? Or?
Yeah, I think, that we initially thought we'd go with him left, and then he missed that time in camp, and so it was like, okay, you're running out of time is really what it came down to. So kept him there, and he slowly starts to, get a little bit better, but we want to see more physicality out of him. That's what we're looking for.
How much attention do these guys pay to what's being said on TV or social media? Do you try to discourage them from listening to those things?
Well, I don't mean to offend anybody. That stuff doesn't matter to us, because if you get into that world, then you become, kind of like a fan thought. If they understood what's going on, they think they're pretty good, And so right now, they look at the film, they look at their grade. That's who I am. That's the truth. So whatever's written or said doesn't mean anything.
Anything else?
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.